Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Using Google Sheets. Today we're going to talk about if statements, what they are, how they're useful, and I'm going to show you how to write one. This video should be pretty short and pretty quick. I only have one exercise to do, and I think in the future I'm actually going to try and keep these videos pretty short and just make more of them. That way you don't have to waste time skipping around in one long video to find the information that you are looking for. So I think that's going to help us overall. So let's just jump right in. Uh, like I said, today we're going to be talking about if statements. You can see I have some employee information over here, and I'm going to be using the median income information to determine whether or not I need to give these employees a raise. So you can see I can just look at this data and I could just calculate the median by hand, obviously, and then I could just say, okay, it's above or below the poverty line, so I don't need to give them a raise, or I do need to give them a raise. And that would be as easy, as simple as it needs to be. But if I was a larger company and I had 500 or 1,000 employees and I didn't just want to know if they were below the poverty line, I could write what's called a nested if statement and get a lot more information or more specific information about the employees as individuals from the data that's provided. But today we're just going to write a simple if statement. I know it's not going to make much sense as to why we're writing the if statement instead of just the median and looking at the salary and saying, oh yeah, it is below the poverty line. But just understand that more complex if statements will give you more information, and this is just an outline. So here we go. First, I'm going to just go ahead and calculate the median salary so you can see what that is and get a refresher on what the median is. So remember, all formulas begin with an equal sign. And I'm just going to write median of B2 to B11 because that is my data set. And you can already see the median salary is $16,000, which is below the poverty line. So yes, I would want to give these people a raise. However, I'm going to still write the if statement, and what I'm going to do is nest this calculation inside of this if statement. So that way, you can just be writing one formula instead of writing two formulas. And again, on this exercise, it's not going to make much difference in terms of how long it takes you to write one versus the other. But when you're writing if statements about other if statements and things like that, the more you can consolidate your formulas, the more efficient your spreadsheet will run and the more accurate your results will be. And the less room for error there is. You can just look at one single if statement, one element of one formula to diagnose where you went wrong versus looking at 4 or 5 different formulas. So let's look at the median below the poverty line. So an if statement is written like this. So you'll see equals if open parenthesis, and you'll see that logical expression there. And actually Google Sheets is really good. It tells you what each one of these means. So I would encourage you to either pause the video here, or if you're following along, you can go ahead and read through these. And so then I will say, again, median. So what I'm saying is if the median of all the data in cells B2 to B11, and I close the parenthesis for that median calculation, is less than 17,000, or actually, why don't we do it this way? Why don't we use a cell reference? Is less than D2. That way, if the poverty line changes, I can just change the poverty line number, and it will automatically update this formula. So then we separate with a comma, and our value of true is what we want the statement to say if this is true. So if it's below the poverty line, we want it to say yes, because it is below the poverty line. And the quotation marks on this yes are important because this tells the spreadsheet that we do not want it to include this in calculation. These are not variables. It's saying this is just a string of text, or a string in general. I could put numbers inside of quotations and it won't interpret it as a calculation. So tell it yes, and then comma, and then if it's not, if this is false, the value of false, we'll just tell it no. And again with the quotations, and then we will close our parenthesis, and you'll see it will show the other parenthesis we were talking about. And if it all closes out, you can see the result right there is yes, but we already knew that in this instance. So you can see, yes, the median is below the poverty line. So I would need to issue some sort of raise to at least some of these people. I'd probably scale it more towards the people on the lower end instead of the people on the higher end, unless the people on the lower end are just working part-time or not doing very much in general, or if they're only temporary seasonal workers, then they may not come back and they may not need a raise. But that is pretty much it for writing a basic if statement. Again, you just look at it as this. So you have if, and then the question you are asking. So is the median less than 17,000 in this case, but less than the value in D2, and then just yes or no. And so I could change this. I could say is it less than 16,000? And you'll see it's no. Oh, well, that's 1,600, but 16,000, and it's no. If it's less than 16,001, tell it yes, and it is. It's yet less than 16,001. So that is basically it for if statements. Thank you very much for watching. Leave comments down below if you want to see other stuff done in Spreadsheet or other places. If you have questions on how this works, leave comments down below, and please subscribe so you can watch more of my videos. Thank you for watching.